these. Here we go. See, sometimes we have to understand the Old Testament to understand why we worship the way we worship now. There was a time that we couldn't even be sitting here right now if Jesus hadn't taken and put his own blood on the veil in heaven for us. He reconnected us to God so we could come up here and sing, I love to praise him. He put his blood on the altar of incense so we can bend down on our knees in front of our house, at work, or whatever, so we can pray to God and tell him about what's going on with us. Now, when we understand what Jesus really did for me, that excuse, I didn't mean to, doesn't fly. Brother, you ain't sweating no more. When you walk around and know you need to get back right with God, and then you're letting the devil tell you what you did wasn't that serious. God has already said, even if it was unintentional, it is still a transgression against your brother, against me, and you are still held guilty. That's why when we pray, we say, God, forgive us of the sins that I know that I have committed, and even those that I do not know. Because, Lord, I'm not intentionally trying to sin, but if I did, please forgive me of those sins as well. Let me go ahead and talk to a different group of people. Let me talk to those that intentionally sin and just don't even care. Maybe that's a better group to talk to today. Because, see, maybe the unintentional sins ain't working. Because some of us look like, well, you know, if it's unintentional, it's unintentional. So let me talk to the willful person that wants to sin or does sin, and you walk around saying, okay, I sin, what you going to do about it? You can't whoop me, you can't do this, what you going to do? See, we got people, even in the church, that still talk like that. Walk around, you cussing and you fussing and you doing this and doing that, and people coming to you, they coming in love and they telling you about yourself, and they telling you, you need to get right and you need to do this, and you standing alone telling them, what that got to do? Why you all in my business? Let me talk to that person, because unintentional sin ain't working. Let me talk to the person who ain't going to say, I didn't mean to. Let me talk to the person that's going to say, I did it, and what's it to you? How about that? Let's just change the whole sermon, because when I talk that way, y'all wasn't there, y'all all woke up. Talk about it, brother, because I got somebody sitting on my road right now who needs to hear that. Guess who it is? You! All right, here we go. Because see, we quick to point the finger. And you know, we learned this in kindergarten. When you point one, you got, see, some of y'all can't count because the thumb coming this way too. You got four coming back at you. See, I had it up here. Got three. Do it. Go and point somebody. Now, you know what people do now? I knew somebody. That's what the new kids do now. They walk up and do this. Ain't nothing pointing back at me. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. But when you look at other people and point fingers, it's quicker for you to see issues that go on in other people's lives that's dealing with you. We can always point out faults in other people, but it's really our fault. That's a crying shame. And you dealing with the same issue, and you know why you notice it so quick? Because you doing it at your house. So sometimes when we step to folks, we need to take a look in the mirror and make sure that, hey, before I step to you, let me make sure I got my goat on the altar. Let me make sure I done took care of my thing. Let me make sure I done talked to Christ before I come at you the wrong way. But we got to learn how to sacrifice. I'm not talking about just materialistic. I'm talking about spiritual. I'm talking about learning when to say, enough is enough and let God handle it. I'm talking about learning how to say, Lord, I know what you've done for me, and let me not abuse the fact that now I can pray to you. Let me not abuse the fact that you brought me into your presence. Let me not abuse the fact that you elevated me from a common person to a priest. Please believe that. You see, some people don't understand that. When you are elevated and you realize you at a higher state, it makes you act a little better. Some people anyway. But you know, some people when you were in high school, you know, they was playing ball they was retarded then. Then when they went to college, they were still retarded. But then the NBA or the NFL or the hockey league drafted them or something, and then now you gave a retarded dude money, now they really act a fool. Some people, though, on the other hand, when they go from rags to riches, they realize, I ain't living in Buckshot, New York no more. Now I live in upstate New Hampshire in the, what's it called when everybody, what is it? No. The Hamptons, yeah. Now I live in the Hamptons, and now because I'm in this gated community, let me act a little better. See, now let me stop for a second. See, now adults, I need y'all to tune out because this ain't really got nothing to do with y'all no more. Now I'm talking to the young folks. See, now y'all listen to all these rappers, y'all listen to all these people talking about they done shot this and shot that and killed this and sold this, and you go to their house, they own cribs. They house the biggest house on the block, and it ain't a house within 2 miles of them. But they the hardest people in the world. They got Dom Perignon, they got all this nice stuff, but they hood. Y'all ain't trying to help me now. See, now they done got away from where they was, and now they live in a better way. They walking around talking about, what time is dinner going to be? And they got somebody cooking for them, but on their record, they just got it so bad. And you talking about, yeah. He got your $14.95 to help pay for his crib, and you talking about, man, Boosie the hardest. Man, Wayne got it going on. He be spitting lyrics. Man, wait a minute, I'll come back to the adults in a minute. Because I ain't done with y'all either. Because see, right now, see, we don't understand. Young people, they get their minds are getting stuck, turned on by this stuff. And they sitting here like this. Oh, he tripping now, because you know, what's that other boy? No, let the young people talk. Who? Drake? Drake got one song. Y'all be quiet. I'm talking to the young people right now. Hold on a second. I'll be right back to y'all in a minute. Hold on. I got some older people talking about, I know who Drake is. What you talking about? You don't know who Drake is? Ask your kids. Alright. Betty knew. Who's Drake? You didn't try. Yeah, look. Who's Drake? Look, he look over there. You see how they come over there at your parents real quick? If you think they don't know, let the song come on and just say, you know, I can't let it come on, but they'll be in there like it. And you talking about, I ain't never heard that. And all of a sudden, first time you heard it, and they singing the entire song, please believe there's no magic where the first time they heard it, they say, they've been listening to it, you just heard it for the first time. Okay. We let this kind of stuff happen and infiltrate our kids. And then we turn around and do that same excuse. I didn't mean to let them end up like that. That ain't acceptable to God. Anytime you have to use that excuse, that's not acceptable to God. And I'm telling you, I got the same issues going on in my house too. Me and my daughter be driving down the street, all of a sudden, they'll say, I even heard one time, for the first time live, for the first time on 101.1 The Beat Jam. Boom. All of a sudden, she's singing. How you know the song and the guy said it's the first time? Young people know about underground stuff. They know about these records that come out way before they hit the radio. We just get the Walmart version. On their iPod, they got the dirty, dirty version and the dirty, dirty, dirty version. And then they think the dirty version is cool, because well, at least I'm not listening to the dirty, dirty. And then they turn around and say the same thing. What's the title of the lesson? I didn't mean to. You know, it's all cute. Think about when before Christ was really in your life. And your child cussed for the first time. They 1, 2, and you thought it was funny then. And then all of a sudden you go out somewhere. And they turn around and say the same word. And now you embarrassed. Oh, he didn't mean to. But when it was funny, at home, where nobody else was listening and watching, Y'all, that's that fig tree cover. And then when the fig tree get outside, it do what it's supposed to. That joker just sprout out and dude just take off, and you be sitting there like, oh my God. We need to make sure that we get God's cover. Because when God covers us, it's accurate. When God covers us, it's more than we need. Because let me tell you, figs, I don't know if y'all ever put any on. I wore a hula skirt in my life one time. Y'all act like y'all ain't never put one on, but that's okay. It's itchy. But I can only imagine if it get cold, it ain't going to be adequate enough. But see, when God covers, it doesn't matter what the outside elements are, his covering will take care of any condition. Figs will only be good for the summer. It might be all right for the spring. But guess what figs do when the winter comes? They wither and die, and you walk around and damn you back in the same state you were in because God's covering was the animal skin. When God gives you his covering, you can be going through a tornado. And that thing can keep on holding together. The children of Israel walked through the desert for 40 years and didn't need to buy a new pair of shoes. Y'all ain't trying to hear me. When God covers you, he gives you what you need, and that thing lasts until he says, let me give you something different. When God covers and he takes care of you, you don't have to worry about if it's rain proof, if it's this proof, if it's that proof. As long as it says God approved, it's going to take care of you in any situation. See, this book is God proof. If you having trouble in your marriage, you listen to Steve Harvey if you want to. Steve Harvey going to get you in trouble. But this book here will make it where your marriage, and you next thing you know, you end up being married for 50 years. This book right here, you listen to Dr. Seuss if you want to. Green eggs and ham is just going to tell your kids how to put some dye on some breakfast. But you listen to this right here, and you'll have spiritual walking kids.